All right, hey guys, welcome
Hello.
back to the Manly Way. I'm
Hey, how
Tony.
you doing? I'm Guy.
Hey, so what are we going to talk to today? Let's see. I think we're talking about something about rest, right?
Yeah, so we were talking earlier, and Tony wanted to talk about rest. Obviously, he needs some.
Who doesn't?
But yeah. So we were just talking about rest and what do we do and how do we do it. So I don't know. How do you want to start it?
Well, I think what we'll do is we just kind of talk about various things that are effective for us
Okay.
to gain rest.
Okay.
And if we don't, what happens? And then I think ultimately I'd like to kind of lean from there into, without it, it can cause stress. Okay? Stress is like ultimately.
Stress can cause
Stress
no rest.
can cause no rest. No rest can cause stress.
Yeah.
They both kind of, that ugly weaving together.
Yes.
But for me, I've always, I think guys the same way is if I don't have my rest, it really affects everything. It affects my relationships. It affects work. It affects everything. And so I try to take that serious. And you know what? There's always going to be those situations you run across where you can't help it. People will just drop in, or you're committed to help somebody do something that goes into the wee hours, and then you're right back up in the morning.
Or you have little kids.
Little kids, I tell you what, that's one thing that, you always hear about that. But little kids, you have to develop tricks or ways that trick yourself to make sure that you take advantage of time to get rest with little ones.
Well, it's and what we kind of adopted, when we had our little kids, we kind of adopted the military attitude. If you can, in the military, they say, why stand if you can sit? Why sit if you can lay down? Why be awake if you can sleep? So, do you remember that?
Yeah. I do remember that, but one thing I remember is that you just never slept in the military.
No, you didn't get a lot of sleep.
Especially basic.
No. But so the thing when we were having kids, when we had kids, I should say. How's that?
How old are you?
Okay, so
one more time.
No, is that we had to, if you're by yourself, if you're a single parent, oh my goodness, it's tough.
It really is.
Yes. It's double tough. You're doing a lot of work. Mm-hmm. If you have somebody that can help you, then you just have to take shifts.
Yes.
And you have to figure out how to get some rest and take some time off and do some stuff. I don't know. So with kids, that's tough. What are tricks to help you rest?
Well, see, like for instance, like with kids, I was so thankful because so much of the time with our girls, they were really attached to Suzanne. But when the times when Suzanne was gone, I had to develop that because, personally, I was raised in a family where like hugging and being real close just wasn't normal, natural.
Oh,
I know. So now he's driving me crazy. So yeah,
I like hugging
this right
Tony.
here. This is okay.
We're kind of in each other's bubble.
Yeah, but it's all good because it was like with my daughters, it really helped, and my wife kind of helped develop or break down those walls of thinking. It's like no, you need that separate time. Kids, they're going to want to be clear, or they're next to you, or as close as they can, because there's a lot of comfort in that. So a lot of times it's like when you're sleeping, try to, if the kids take a nap, you take a nap with the kids. If it means that you don't get something cleaned up in the kitchen, don't worry about it. Take advantage of that because you need that rest. But that was always a trick for me, is just if they're going to take a nap, and I just force myself to take a nap with them.
Yeah.
How about you? Did you?
Well, with the kids, kind of the same thing. Obviously, when my kids were little, we were more traditional, and I worked all the time, and then she took care of the kids, and then I helped when I could. So when they were little, I didn't have as much say in that, and I obviously didn't get my rest in the evenings when the kids were little, trying to help out with feeding and changing and stuff like that.
Have you ever had that happen when you, after working all day, you come home and they go, here?
Oh, many times.
Right? And you're just wanting to go, go in and just sit down and relax, and it's like,
It's
okay,
like, nope.
Nope.
It's like, here, now it's yours.
now it's yours.
Your turn. And I'm like, but I just got to.
but
No.
here, see ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. I enjoyed when the kids were little.
Yeah.
I really did. I don't miss it enough to have more.
Right.
But no. But yeah, so I had, as you guys know, I had a life-changing experience with having a stroke, and they actually told me, the doctors actually told me, you have this mass in your brainstem, and you need to take it easy. You need to rest. You can't work anymore, and it was more stressful not working than working. Because I was just so used to it.
Yep.
So it took me a lot of time to realize that I need to give myself enough rest and really allow myself that. It's not being selfish. You just have to allow yourself to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've built up a routine. What's your nightly routine? Do you have one?
Really, it's just if there's a certain time frame. Like for me, it's like between 9:30 to 10:30.
Yeah.
If I'm in bed by then, everything's good. Now, during hunting season, when you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you just don't get rest on the first week or two. But just every day, 9:30 to 10:30, I've just found that really works for me. And I'm actually a morning person. I'm not a real sound sleeper. So, giving that little bit of time, that little extra time,
Okay.
I will wake up. Gives me a little time to shut my brain down again and get the rest I need. But yeah, I think a lot of it's in that time frame that I go to bed. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Really, really big one. How about you?
Same thing. I've been laughed at by my family for a while because I get ready for bed at 9:30. I just start getting ready for bed, and it's that I don't fall asleep that early, but I start winding down. I just start relaxing and doing the preparatory to get ready for bed. Now I do take like a melatonin or something to mellow me out, because if I don't, my mind is I still stay up till later at night. The other thing that I try not to do is keep my device on, keep TV on or stuff like that.
That is really good. Yes.
And that'll help me shut down a lot
Right.
faster.
Right.
And if I really need to just zonk out, I read.
I was
Because
going to say, is that another method? Is reading, right?
yeah,
Same here.
Man, if it could be the middle of the day,
Yeah.
and I will
Oh, yeah.
fall asleep reading.
Yep.
I
I will as well.
I'm not. Now, I have had a couple books where I've had to switch because they were too exciting and it kept me up.
Right.
But usually I just read something, some history or something like that,
Yeah.
and I'll just fall asleep.
Yeah. No, that's great. I forget about that. Like reading is really, really good, and to turn the TV off. Shut that off. Give yourself some time.
Actually, the TV isn't the biggest one. It's the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what gets you the most.
Yeah. For me, it's the phone, and
I guess I'm so used to just shutting the phone down. That's always been easy, I guess. But I never thought about that. That's another.
Yeah. The phone,
electronic
the
device.
phone, the blue,
Yeah.
the iPod, the iPad, the everything, or the tablet.
Mhm.
It can keep you awake longer than TV actually.
Oh.
So now there's one game that I play on my phone that actually makes me fall asleep.
Is that tic-tac-toe?
No, I'm no good at that. I keep losing. Oh wait, I only play myself.
Oh.
Oh well.
Well,
Anyhow,
it's better than playing with yourself.
that'll make you fall asleep. Can't believe you said that. Yeah, no.
No.
We're not going there.
No.
No, we're not going there. Okay. See what I put up with all day long? This is what I put up
He's
with.
rubbing off on me.
Yeah. Oh. It's all my fault.
It's all yours.
Yeah.
Well,
But
anyways.
anyhow.
So what were we talking about? The phone.
I was talking about a game.
Oh, a game on your phone.
So after my stroke, they gave me brain games.
Oh.
And these brain games, oh my gosh, some of them are really intense. And so if I play it for a little while, it just makes me, even though it's on a screen, it makes me fall asleep.
Oh.
So I do that.
Right.
And I don't know. I am also a morning person. I don't know if I want to go elk hunting with him if he gets up at 3:30 in the fucking morning. No,
Right?
no, no.
Yes.
Elk will still be there
Yep.
at 7:30.
Yep, they will. But you'll be too late because I will already shot them.
That's fine. That's just fine. I got a grocery store.
Okay.
So,
But yeah, so one of the things I really wanted to kind of touch base again, just a little bit more, just the stress. You know, how lack of rest can lead to stress, and stress can lead to lack of sleep. So, stress, what are some of the, like you said, you're fascinating me because how you're able to, and he is, like so many things we deal with, you know, in the workforce that would normally kind of get me stressed a little bit because I'm not sure how to really tackle it situation. And he's just like, whatever. I'm like, how can you, like, your answer is always like, whatever, you know, we'll work. I'm like, how do you do that?
well, I used to be really high strung and really stressed, and you know, it's interesting what happens, and it wasn't by my own choice, but it's interesting what happens when you're laying in bed, and you're laying in a hospital bed, and the doctors say, if you don't stop stressing out, you're going to die.
Wow.
And so I prayed, and I asked God. I was like, you got to help me. I need to not stress anymore. And over a period of time, I realized that the time that I have with my kids is finite. And
Right.
and not everybody has been in a situation where they thought they were going to die, truly, and the doctors told them they were. And at any point in time, I still could, you know, I mean, I still have all those growths in my brainstem, and it's still there, and and Tony's actually seen it when I get really stressed out, and I actually slur my speech.
Right.
And so I have to really be careful. And the time that I have with my kids is so much more important than anything that's happening.
Yeah.
I've already gone through. I've gone through bankruptcy because of this. I lost my health. I'm gaining my health back. I'm divorced, and all of that. It's like, but I still have time with my kids.
Yeah.
I still have my kids, and I still have that time, and nothing else really matters. Like when somebody says, "Oh, you got this project and this project, you know, how are you going to get it all done?" I'm like, "We'll figure it out. Let tomorrow worry about tomorrow. I'm just going to worry about what I'm doing today, and we'll just let it happen." And it's been amazing. It's been a total transformation in my life, and I can't imagine being the way I used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's fascinating to me because it's interesting because I'll think that, I'll look at it, I can see the bigger picture and say it's not really that important, but still my mind wants to wrestle with it for some reason. I'm not even sure. What do you think? Am I hopeless? Right answer. Come on.
Say that again.
Just say
I was
not.
I was actually reading what TJ Fletchall.
Oh.
Hey TJ. Oh man, God first and family and
Absolutely.
kids second.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We have to reach out and that's where baseline comes, and that help to get focus and lack of stress.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about how powerful, actually with that conversation, we we're talking about how powerful our minds are.
Yeah.
And just the new research and studies out there, just how we can think stress and think what it does is ultimately causes our bodies to be unhealthy.
Yes.
Whereas if we think positive and think about the good things, it actually reverses that and causes our bodies to be healthy. So it's very important.
It actually makes me think of Philippians, where it says
Philippians 4, 6, 7, and 8, and 9. Yeah. It's just what you dwell on.
What you think about is, you know, I mean, think about these things.
Yes.
You can be thinking about everything else, but if you have your mind set on the right things, it's going to go well for you.
Absolutely. And honestly, these are just things I'm learning like real recently, and I'm trying to adopt those, and I've noticed already a huge boost of energy and not so down, because it's an amazing thing when you start thinking like that, you begin to go in this downward spiral.
Yeah.
Whereas just trying to think about some, like for instance, mine is like I have to think of at least 3 good things that happened to me.
Yep.
If I start going down there, just think of 3 good things. You know
Well,
what?
he already has one. He's around me.
Why did
so,
I know that was coming? I knew that was coming.
Come on, man. I mean,
I don't want to throw up on here.
okay. So,
All right,
Yeah.
I saved it. But yeah, right? So think of like just for when you're in those situations, automatically you just discipline yourself to think of 3 things that you're really thankful for, and dwell on those. And and it's hard, not easy at first, but pretty soon you'll see that it's easy to start dwelling on those things than it is whatever the stress. In fact, I listened to a message the other day. There's
you saw it coming too, TJ. That's funny. I knew it was
I
good.
know it. I saw where I was listening to someone speak. They were talking about how there's like 92 or 91 or 92% of all of the things that come across our life that cause us stress doesn't really ever happen. It's usually stuff in the past.
Yeah.
There's only like 8
Well-
or 9% of stuff that actually happens.
And there's actually good stress. I mean, there's things that, like, we have deadlines and we have things that we need to achieve, and so there's a good stress. I mean, not everything is a bad stress, but yeah, all of the bad things, a lot of it is stuff that's already happened.
Right. A lot of it is.
Or
You're
stuff
not gonna
that
fix it.
or
It's already
stuff
done.
that you're like, well, what if
the
we
whole what if.
what if I go bankrupt? How is that gonna? It's like, so what?
So what?
I've actually gone bankrupt, and you know what? I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still driving a vehicle. I still make money.
Life still goes on.
Life still goes on. You know, it's not. Nothing is the end of the world except the end of the world.
Yep.
And only, you know, I mean, that's only going to be once.
Yeah.
So everything else
Yeah.
really just isn't that important.
So when you're if you're having a hard time going to sleep, I really just challenge you, just begin a process to discipline yourself to think of at least 3 things. I try to go more than 3 now,
Yeah.
but at least 3. Start out with just 3 things. If you can't, just start out with 1.
What's that old saying? Count your blessings. That's what that was from. You just have to think about.
Think about, and there's so many that we have.
Yeah.
So just, if you can, start out with 1, start out with 3, work yourself up to 10. It really,
Yeah.
when you start looking into it, you'll find out that there's 20 to 50. I mean, it's
Yeah.
easy to start rattling things off.
Yeah.
What is so cool with your life and what's going on in it?
Yeah.
Right?
And we tend to get, you know, with the news and with media and with
Oh,
stuff,
my goodness,
we
yes.
tend to get sucked into the negative instead of the positive.
Yes.
And I actually started watching, because you can find it. There's actually positive news channels, and they still tell the news, but they tell it in a positive way. And man, that really helps if you really want to know the news, but
Right.
you don't want to hear all the
That's a good point.
negative stuff. And then you can. It's how do you want to spend your time? Do you want to spend your time complaining and down and
Right.
stressed out, or do you want to spend your time? It's kind of like we talk about exercising a lot because I'm exercising. Who do you want to be in 8 months? Do you want to still be somebody who's stressed out and not sleeping well and
Right.
you know, down, or
You need to
do you
shoot
want
for
to
that.
do you want to change how you're doing small things and start building
Absolutely.
an attitude of gratitude. I've heard that before.
I know it.
Okay, it kind of sounds cheesy when I say it. I'm not going to say that anymore.
All right.
But this attitude of positive, you know, you can be positive, and it really works. It really does.
Yep.
But,
'cause you're right, because negative feeds on negative, and it's powerful. It's amazing how you just start, you know, these negative thoughts will. It's almost like your body there's a part of you wants to go after it because of it's attention or something. There's
well-
something that draws us into it. So that's why I say it's not easy for some people. Some people can pull themselves out of it real quickly, right? And like for me, sometimes it's easy for me to go down that rabbit trail. So it's very helpful for me. And if anybody out there that has, like, maybe it's a little harder because these things are, maybe you're surrounded with more negative stuff than maybe someone else.
Yep.
So it's an amazing thing too. When you start doing it, other people are going to be attracted to you.
Yes.
That's just the way it works.
Yep. As you become a more positive person, a more restful person,
Yep.
and just somebody who is quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger, you'll be somebody who people want to be around.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those traits that I know that even in my 20s and 30s I was shooting for. I was awful at it. I was quick to anger, spoke all the time, didn't listen to anybody, but I tried.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do is keep trying.
Yep.
And listen to wise guys like Tony. Don't listen to me. Listen to him. So anyhow, I think that's good on rest. I think we can touch on it more if when we think about some other things.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're gonna go take a nap. No, we're not. We're gonna go.
Oh man, that would be nice, right?
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
Oh.
He looks a little tired today. I don't think he got that much sleep.
Yeah. Well, it's. So what do I do now? So that means I do get to take a nap.
You get to take a nap. I'll keep working. You can
All
go
right,
take a
all
nap.
right, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, did your seat back there fold down?
Yeah, it's a Suburban.
All right.
He can hang out in the
Dang, I
Suburban.
forgot my pillow.
Yeah. Well.
All right.
Okay. So
All right.
anyhow, tune in tomorrow. We'll talk about something totally random again, but it'll be good.
It'll be good.
And
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks everybody.
Manly Way.
Yep.
See you tomorrow.
Manly Way. Bye.